Welcome to Hangouts on Tuesday at electronicdrumlessons.com, home of the Drumming Power Source, your online self-guided expander resource. Now, expanders are confidence-building, four-limb puzzles that our mind enjoys figuring out, enabling rapid progress with little effort. Hi, my name's Steve Blank, drum coach and songwriter. I'm here to help everyone, be a better drummer or a drum coach. So whatever your drum topic or question you or my co-hosts have, that will be our top priority. I'll also talk a little bit about my coaching and my certification programs, but probably not too much, just a little. So let's say hello to our co-hosts for today, Tuesday, February 4th, 2014. Co-host, when I say your name, drum something, say hello. You got 20 or 30 seconds. Let's start with Byron. Byron, how you doing?
Hi, Steve. I don't have a drum set with me at the moment, but I'm doing great and listening in.
Do you have any favorite mouth drums, vocal drums that you would like to?
Not at the moment, Steve.
Well, all right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Byron. Darnell.
Hey, what's happening? I can go ahead and not mouth drum, but I can go ahead and play a little something for you.
All right. Yeah, and I'm Steve, and I think I do want to mouth drum something.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Fifth left playing.
And silly, but we got to have fun. But drums just might be the most fun instrument. I mean, I think most of us drummers don't wonder that. But there probably are some other people out there, a couple of guitar players maybe that think they're having more fun. I don't know.
Whatever.
Well, certainly since electronic drums have come out, I couldn't imagine there being a more fun instrument. Even when there wasn't electronic drums, though, it was pretty convincing that drums were the most fun. Now, what the topic of today was, what are we going to do with Hangouts in the future? And I think we kind of came up with an answer during our green room, and it is just going to be as much interaction from our guests as they want to provide. I know for a fact that Darnell has some really interesting stuff he was just talking about with the way he set up his electronic kit with peripherals, and I have to admit that is one of the coolest things about electronic drums. First, if you just get an electronic kit, it's already a huge amount of stuff, but then you can hook stuff to it, a little bit like an acoustic kit, except it's usually with electronics you get a lot more sounds in a lot smaller space, and so you've got a keyboard and an Alesis hooked up to your Roland drums with a bunch of extra pedals. I don't know, you want to take the floor and explain what you got again?
Sure, I can go ahead and do a quick tour. I'll do an upper and a lower tour on that one. So here on the left side, I've got the Alesis, and actually I can go ahead and go down further on that one. It has the inputs back here, so I can also trigger the bass drum on the Alesis. And you bring up a great point.
So is there a pedal? Is there a pedal in there for the Alesis? It's got a bass drum pedal.
It's a you have to use the like a sustain pedal.
Yeah, right. But it's a pedal kind of thing. A cheap little bass drum pedal. Yeah.
Right, and then I can go ahead and use my second one. Right now I've got it for the hi-hat. But eventually, I do plan on going ahead and taking that and triggering the snare drum with it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and do some left foot beating with it.
Now, because we can't see your whole Alesis, and I'm sorry I'm being interrupting you,
okay.
but the Alesis has eight pads, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, 8 pads.
And 2 pedals. 8 pads and 2 pedals. So it's a complete drum set in itself.
Exactly. And the only thing I did unique with the Alesis, even though you can't see it, next time I'm going to try and swing around the camera a little bit more. I turned it so it's actually like on its side so that I can actually go ahead and hit everything in a smaller space with my left hand. So. Then bringing it
Gotcha.
around, I got my obviously the big Roland set, which is a standard. The only thing I did here differently was I moved the hi-hat to the middle. I can get to it just as easy with either hand.
Now, did that decision have anything to do with the Alesis, or it just was the better place to put it?
You know what? It really had less to do with the Alesis and a lot more to do with just being on these hangouts with you. And most of the time while you're talking about things and doing things, I'm also looking and paying attention to your physical layout. And more I kept on thinking to myself, okay, what parts of the drum set do we have set up? Because traditionally it was the only thing that could happen.
Yeah, right.
And the hi-hat was a perfect example. Why was it over here all the time? Because it was foot activated, and
Yeah, right.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Your left foot that's the only place your left foot is, so it had to go over there.
Right. And so I was sitting there one day and I thought to myself, okay, you know what though? With the left hand, if I want to go ahead and write on the left hand, I've got it right here. On the other hand, if I go ahead and I want to ride with the right hand, this way.
You don't have to play cross all the time.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So about the only other thing I got going on is I have the double bass down here at the bottom. I've got an effect pedal that I run everything through, so I do have the ability to go ahead and pull some effects on things. So I have echo that I can pull or flanging or whatever distortion. Down here, I have a sustain pedal, and that's the reason why I have the keyboard. But about the only thing I have different on the drums, and we talked about this too, I put another bass drum up here. This, again, goes to exactly what you said about why electronic drum sets are more fun. Because I can put a 24-inch bass drum right here in a little pocket. So
and literally, if someone's listening to that and not watching you, they would be just wondering, what the heck? How's he pulling that off?
Exactly. So then over here on the side, I do have it MIDI'd into the keyboard, and I use that to trigger basically like sounds. Let me go ahead and get a pure sound here. Okay.
Nice.
And that's it. Oh, and I have a sustain pedal for right now to the keyboard. So for those longer sounds, like for instance, one of the things that I'm playing around with, and then I'll let it go real quick. I'm taking a sound that would be like, for instance, let's take this sound here.
That's nice.
Okay, what I can do with that is I can go in here and change it to mono instead of poly. And of course, the whole thing that happens with mono is the fact that what you end up doing is it's one note that plays at a time. Well, what's cool is if I go ahead and I use a sustain pedal, only one note is going to trigger, so I get legato.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it has its uses. And that's me.